welcoming the ladies from Australia. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Oi, oi, oi.
With that, we would like to bring upon...
No, don't be quiet. No. Look at these dynamites. Woo!
These are the old intros now.
This is Carol. You know her, yes? How many people in the house know Carol? That's too few. This dynamite lady, you need to know better than 5 people in the room.
Okay. All right.
Whatever you would like.
Okay. Thank you very much, Maisie. Okay, my name's Carol Hanlon. I'm from Perth, Western Australia, and it gives me great pleasure to... Okay, gives me great pleasure to invite everybody here at WEF Delhi, India, to attend Women Economic Forum in Perth, Western Australia. Woo! And it's happening in July. This is my third WEP in Delhi, and as I said to Dr. Harbeen, I think I will put one together, and it's happening. So our theme is empowering women, making a difference. Our whole event about Women Economic Forum is women who make a difference. But our focus is the Sustainable Development Goals. I did speak about these yesterday, and also the Women Economic Principles. I'd like to thank Dr. Harbeen for being the founder of the Women Economic Forum movement, and also her award on being the 100 women reputable people in the world. My story is I left home and I left school at 15. So my self-taught in small business as a designer for 20 years of my own business, and then 25 years in small business development, not-for-profits. So over the years, I've assisted over 32,000 people in starting a business, growing a business. My passion is, as you heard yesterday, is building the economic empowerment of women. Now, at Women Economic Forum in Perth has got beautiful blue skies, natural attractions, wonderful wineries, and gourmet food. So I invite you to come to Perth, but also add a few days before and after your trip to go and see some of the sites. For those that I've already visited in the room, you have your boarding pass to Perth. Make sure when you hop on the plane, you ask them for your seat. And some postcards about Western Australia. I'll be presenting in Perth some researchers that will outline the facts to you about gender imbalance and clearly show to you that we are living the third wave of women rising. The first wave was the women suffragette movement in the 1900s. The second wave was the 70s. With liberation and women taking control of their lives at that era. But we have slipped back in between. So we are now entering the third wave. Women are rising around the world to claim gender equality and the 50% of equal rights. Women's rights are human rights. So you are claiming your natural human rights. And as I shared yesterday, it's time to speak up, stand up, be counted. On your table with your boarding pass gives you the opportunity to share some of the themes that we will be having specialists from around the world present on. But our event also has the welcome reception at the WA Government House with the Governor. We have lots of exciting things. Curtin University is one in the top 1% universities of the world. So we have the main lecture theatres and lots of breakout parallel sessions. Our gala dinner will be a cruise down the famous Swan River buffet. I have 2 opportunities, just extend me a couple of minutes. I'm collecting scholarships, and the Welsh Pool Rotary Club in Perth have just donated some scholarships for women in developing countries for their attendance, for their conference scholarship to come to the WEP in Perth. And also I'm announcing that the Australasian Institute of Business and Enterprise Facilitators is offering 20 membership scholarships to women who are business advisors who lack accreditation, formal accreditation and post-nominals after their name. So I welcome you to Perth, and it gives me great pleasure to introduce you to award-winning women from Perth, Western Australia, small business, to share their skills and talents with you. And my first guest is Shanika, who's a designer. I've been helping or assisting Shanika for many years, and she's exhibited at Hong Kong Fashion Week, Taipei in Style, many places around the world. So over to you, Shanika.
Thank you, Carol. Thank you so much for that. I have to say, I'm truly, truly honored and privileged to be here sharing my story with you all. Okay. That's better, yes? Yes, absolutely. That's my chance. So basically, my name is Shanika, and I was born in this beautiful country, but I'm made in Australia. I'll tell you what I mean by when I say that. It's not just my brand that's made in Australia. I design and manufacture there, obviously. But it's me. As a person, I was made in Australia. After completing my studies in 2005, after graduating from NIFT, I went to Australia. I came to Australia. And, when you move to a new country, that's like you're starting from the very beginning, the 0 level, basically. So you have to build at every level. And it's hard. It's hard. And I knew it's going to be a challenge. But when you just graduate, you have that passion in you. You have a vision that you want to see yourself as that was my vision, to see myself as a top designer in the world. And moving to Australia and starting from the 0 level, I knew I had to face so many challenges. But I was absolutely ready for it because, as Lady Gaga said when she was accepting the speech last year, she said, if you have a dream, you fight for it. You don't give up. You keep going. And that's what I've been doing. And it's been, I would say, more than a decade of hard work, sweat, tears, determination, and persistence that I am who I am today. And I'm very proud of the person I've made. And definitely it's not possible without the support, a good support system. My family, my mentor, my dear friends. And, they've been always there for me, supporting me, cheering me. And all I would say is it's okay to ask for help also. People think when you ask for help, you're a weak person. It's actually the other way. You are a strong person because you're strong enough that you want to keep going towards your dream. You're not giving up. So it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to believe in yourself and just keep going towards your dream. So all I would like to say is, before I wrap up with the whole thing, as Carol said, we would like to invite, on behalf of Western Australia, we would like to invite you all to come to Perth and meet your fellow soul sisters around the world. And as we Aussie says, grab a beer and Barbie, and let's get inspired and be inspired. Thank you so much.
Okay, our next award-winning business is Matri. Matri is Bollywood active. She just recently won the Telstra Business Awards. She won our Business Migrant of the Year award last year. And this is a woman going places in 5 countries, 10 countries.
Yeah, 12.
12 now.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Can everyone hear me okay? Yeah? All right, good afternoon. I have a small confession to make. This is my first ever WEF event, and after listening to all the wonderful speakers yesterday, I had a full-blown attack of the imposter syndrome. Now, to those who are not familiar with the imposter syndrome, it is a psychological pattern in which an individual doubts their accomplishments, and it's true, isn't it? I know, we all are feeling it. So an individual will doubt all their accomplishments, as well as a persistent internalized fear of being coming out as a fraud. Now, for all the women working in leadership roles and entrepreneur roles, this is an issue we deal with on a daily basis. To give you some sort of context to sort of my history, I was born here in India in Bombay. I left home at 15. I went by myself to Canada. I did my high school there. At 17, I moved to Australia, and I've been there since. I was 23 when I launched my first business, a dance school, while working full-time with the government. And when I was 26 and recovering from an injury, I was at my lowest mentally and physically. During this recovery period is when I launched my second business, Bali Active Fitness, which is an international workout program currently in 9 countries across the globe. Our mantra is health and happiness for all, with a focus on physical and mental well-being along with mindfulness. So it's all about the mind, body, and soul. Our aim is to empower men and women from all different ages and ethnic background to get certified and run their own small business. In spite of both my businesses doing okay, when I was first nominated for a Young Achievers Award about 3 years ago, I felt I didn't deserve to be there, and I'm sure we all have felt this at some point of time. As I was a nobody, I was just someone trying to make the ends meet. There is no way that I could inspire others. I was barely 27 years old and did not consider myself to be an entrepreneur or role model to anyone. I just loved dancing and fitness, that's it. But winning that award completely changed it for me. I not only grew confident in my abilities, but I saw the potential on how I could influence, inspire, and help others. We recently launched our online instructor training program, which will help individuals across the globe to get certified and be an entrepreneur in their own right by launching the small businesses. My goal is to empower men and women across the globe to improve their personal, physical, and mental health, as well as grow a tribe of health influence people in the community and the cities they live in. Now, later in this year, we are rolling out a series of scholarships for women from domestic violence background, where they'll be receiving free instructor training in order to help them and support them get back on their feet and earn a small income. Now, another topic with all my heart, thank you. I'm a big supporter of equality across all spectrums, gender and ethnic background, same as this wonderful platform of WEF. But as a true millennial, I do passionately feel that the youth of today is more than just Facebook and Instagram filters. Woo! If given the correct guidance by our peers and mentors, we really can make a difference. Youth today globally is motivated, educated, and has immense potential to make the world a better place in future. And thanks to platforms such as this one, we get an opportunity to make a difference. Now, it has been heartwarming listening to all the inspiring speakers yesterday and this morning. And I'm incredibly thankful to Carol, to Dr. Herbeen for this wonderful platform. And I'd like to invite you all to our Perth WEF later this year in July. Now, Perth is the world's most isolated metro city on the planet, but we do have some stunning beaches and amazing natural beauty. So we look forward to seeing you all later this year. Thank you all and have a wonderful rest of the day.
Thank you very much. Gives me great pleasure to invite my great friend, Susie Craddock, who's doing a lot of work here in India, and what she's doing is so inspiring in the area of trafficking and making a difference in the lives of women and girls.
Hi. Have you ever stopped and looked back around and said to yourself, how on earth did I get here? As C.S. Lewis said, it isn't funny how day by day nothing changes, but when you look back, everything is different. I'd like to think the universe brought us together for a reason, that we're supposed to help each other grow into the people we're all meant to be, and not all about being transumers. So I'd like to see if you'd like to all get up and just pair off in with a partner. Could everybody stand, please? And I would like you to, without any talking, move the words, how did I get here, in a gesture. Move the words, how did I get here, in a gesture. So A, please start. Pick a So just move your bodies. So for me, I got here by the plane. Move your bodies and explain to each other by gesture how you got here. Because the body doesn't lie. Okay, great. All right, you can all sit down now, but very slowly. Slowly sit down. And I want you to feel how you're sitting. Feel it in your body. Because the body doesn't lie. The body holds all these experiences of movement. And part of my journey really has been, when I was young, I had an amazing childhood in the sand hills, making, sand castles and all those sort of things, but underground cubbies. But, we didn't have the internet and we didn't have the diversions of the like pages. So it was very easy for us to do play, which is not what children do today so much. And on reflection, my kids and my early teen years was all about resilience and rebellion. But when I was about 17 and after finishing school, I wanted to do nursing training. So I went off and did my nursing training. But one of the problems being a nurse was we were dealing with disease all the time. And disease for me is dis-ease of the body. And so I thought to myself, there's no way I want to be stuck in a hospital system, just dealing with disease. So I went off and I did all these different courses and whatever in integrated therapists, and finally got home. And when I was 22, I opened my first school of integrated therapies. I was very young. When I was 24, I designed the Associate Diploma in Health Sciences, which was big. It was registered. I wrote all the curriculum, etc. And I had a baby, young boy. I used to leave him in the front of the shop in a bouncingette while I was doing all the treatments. When I was so that school was registered by the government, and it was overseas accredited. But my journey then took me into all sorts of areas. I was a bit like a rabbit in a hole, searching. And I decided that I wanted to actually do movement therapies. And movement therapies is a really interesting subject. It's really about using the body for self-expression. And I guess that's how I found myself in lots of ways, because I went to America and I did a course in movement therapy at JFK University, and one of my teachers there, who was a professor, said to me, if you're ever interested in helping children who've had trauma of the bodies, please go and work with an NGO in Kolkata, which I did. I found myself in Kolkata and working for 4 months with a NGO called Kolkata Samved. Now, these people are amazing, and what they do is dance movement therapy, which is not just about moving. It's about moving psychotherapeutically, and it's a way of discovering a sense of purpose and beyond your mundane activities, and it's helped those kids become confident, expressive, and all sorts of things. Now, when I was there, this particular time, I actually went into a shelter called the Mukti shelter, and there were 15 young boys there, and my memory of that time will never leave me. That's why I'll always come back to India and finish my project, which is setting up the Rhythm Centre Generous Charity, which is to actually have a centre of excellence for those kids. When I was in that Mukti shelter doing the meditation with those kids, there was a young boy who was lying there on the floor, and so I put my hands underneath him and I was holding him, and he was absolutely stiff and totally in trauma. And he looked up into my eyes, and then his beautiful face, he was 4, so he'd been sexually abused. There was all that case history behind him. But he looked up into my eyes and he sunk into my hands. And it was very hot in that room, and I had a tear that ran down my face, which felt like a boulder because I was in the presence of that child. And when we finished that whole psychotherapeutic approach, he got up, and the first thing he said to me was, "When are you coming back, Susie?" So my role now is to set up a centre of excellence for those kids. There's shelters in India all over the place, but the ones that I'm working with is Kolkata Samved, and it's an amazing cause. And we're going to also have a bus for those kids, and also I'm organising, what else am I organising? A whole lot of other things. But the impact of dance movement therapy for those kids is it helps them to help with their memory loss and with their trauma. Violence against women and children is prevalent in India. 1 rape is in every 8 minutes. It's shocking. We have to actually work with young boys to help this change. Survivors of violence go through huge physical and mental trauma, leading to a negative attitude towards the body and self. And what my role is now is to help those kids really, really come to terms with what they've been through, march through their life with resilience and courage, and face a new future. Thank you.
Okay, our last presenter from Australia, from Perth, is Narita Omar. And Narita's business is about survival and striving and as a resilient speaker.
Hello, Delhi. Come on, give me a bit of warm. Thank you. All right, so first of all, I just want to say thank you to Dr. Abin and Women Economic Forum for putting together such a beautiful event. I feel there's no words for me to express the feeling I have being surrounded by heart-centered souls, trying to make the difference in this world. It's just fantastic. And I also would like to thank Karen Hanlon for inviting me to be part of this. So allow me to tell you my story about how my journey into Strive and Thrive started by accident. In 2015, I lost my friend to suicide. And according to World Health Organization, in 2020, mental health will be the #1 leading epidemic in the world. That was when I decided that since I could not bring my friend back to life, but I could do something for those that are still around. That was when I decided to speak up and share my personal story about how I overcome my own challenges during my brain injury days. So what happened was on Friday the 13th, 2006, I had a fall off a stage which is higher than this, with my head hit the ground. And from the first Asian female casino chief manager, I became someone who couldn't even string sentences together. Long story cut short, I am very grateful that I managed to overcome my challenging days. And in 2006, if you ask me if I will be standing here sharing this message, I didn't think so. All right, so what happened was, since 2016, I decided to speak up about my story at events. I use technology and social media, write blogs. I post almost every day on positivities, messages, on resilient messages, because I think it's very important for the world to build a resilient human race. And ever since that, I don't really know where I was going at that time, but what drove me most, what motivated me, was the messages and the emails I received from people who claimed that my messages and my story has given them hope, and some even claim has saved their lives. And that's what drives me to move forward. And also, I'm very, very blessed, for the support system I have, allowing me to do what I love, and I truly believe that I've been supported by the universe to do what I do. I truly believe that I went through all my traumatic experience so that I could be doing what I do now. And it's just a really wonderful feeling when you actually love what you do and manage to do what you love. So with Strive and Thrive, I also do events. I do online summits and all that. And it's just so wonderful to be able to live in the time at the moment when technology permits us to spread our message so wide. And also, with Strive and Thrive, there's a lot of challenges, especially being, a business owner. But however, there are more beautiful things and opportunities that came along with it. Like, for example, this year I actually manifested to be a part of a women empowerment event, and within weeks, I received an invite to be part of West Perth. For those of you that doesn't know where Perth is, that's where the rock stars are made, okay? Like Hugh Jackman from X-Men. And the next big thing, Nori Talma. All right, so I'll be sharing my story there on the topic of rebuilding your life. I hope to see you there in Perth. And also, if you have any questions about Perth, please connect with us. We will be more happy to help you. So I would like to finish my message by telling you that I really do believe in what I do, and I do really believe that there's a lot of good in this world. I want to see a world with less pain. I want to see a world full of love, joy, happiness. I want to see a world with less judgment but forgiveness. I am on this path, and I will not stop. What about you? Will you care to join me? Thank you.
Yeah, I would just like to say I brought this from the United Nations specifically for Dr. Harbin. It's your whole sheet of sustainable development goals. You can pick them off and put them where you want. And your official boarding pass. To Perth. And do not follow where your path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail and follow this dear ladies as a role model.
Together, Carol.
We're all coming to Perth. Thank you so much, Carol. That was amazing energy in the room. You uplifted everybody, and the panel is just wonderful. A big round of applause for the entire panel. On to you.
Dr. Harbin Arora will now present awards. Carol, please join Dr. Arora in leading her with the awards. Chenika, iconic woman creating a better world for all. Maitri Patel, iconic woman creating a better world for all. Susie Creda, exceptional woman of excellence. Norika Omar, exceptional woman of excellence. Ladies, please get together for a group picture.